to discuss pragmatics with reference to linguistics. So what is pragmatics? Pragmatics is a thing which is also related with how to draw meanings, how to understand something. It means that it is the study of invisible meaning. That sometimes so happen that we come across a type of writing in which there are no direct meanings presented, or they are not said, or they are not written. It means that there are implied meanings. So implied meanings are invisible meanings which we are to draw, which we are going to draw from any piece or anything, written thing, that is called pragmatics. Suppose you are going out and you come across this signboard which is written there that baby and toddlers sale. Now apparently it looks that baby and toddlers, small babies are sold here, but this is a direct thing, but actually it is not so. Any person who is going to look at this, he will come to know that babies are not sold here, rather things. Different types of toys are available for babies, different types of clothes, even cloths are available for them, and then there are shoes for them. There are so many other things which are only for babies. So these meanings which we are drawing from this, they are part of pragmatics, because there is not written that shoes are sold here, shoes for babies are sold here, or clothes for babies are sold here, or other things, toys are for babies are sold here, or anything else is used sold for babies here. But we can draw meanings, we can draw the implied meanings that things for babies are sold there, and babies are and toddlers are not sold there. So this is called pragmatics. It means that we have tried to know the implied meanings, the invisible meaning, the hidden meanings, and then we have come to know. It means that we are not going to focus upon literal meanings, and we are going to depend upon figurative meanings, implied meanings, hidden meanings, and the knowing of those hidden meanings is called pragmatics. So this pragmatics, it has various forms. We are going to discuss it in detail by keeping its form. The very first is that's called dxis. It's pronounced as dxis. So there are what is dxis? There are certain words which cannot be understood until we know the context of those words, because whatever is the language, whoever is the speaker, wherever we are using, there are certain words, and it is always the case, there are certain words in our languages that we are unable to understand. They are used by different speakers and we are unable to understand them until and we don't know, or we know the real context in which those words are used. When we come to know the real context of use of those words, it means that then we can understand what are the real implied meaning. For example, there is a word here, then there, this, that, now, then, yesterday. No, these are the words. We can understand them. We can know the literal meanings of them. But if they are used in any sentence and someone is going to tell us something by using these words, we are unable to understand until we don't know the real physical context of the use of those words. Then there is beside these words there is also pronouns like you, me, she, him, it, then. These are also part. These are cannot be understood until we don't know the context of the use of them. For example, here is a sentence: you will have to bring it back tomorrow because she is not here today. Now this is a sentence. Now it contains different expressions. You, it, tomorrow, she, here, today. It means that now these are the things, these are used. We don't know who is you, what is it, what is when tomorrow, and then who is she, here, today. All these things are not clear, that what he is going to bring, what she is going to bring, and who is she who is going to bring something, and what is the thing. That's not clear. So when that's not clear, it means that we are not in the position to know the meanings, because we don't know that the context, the physical context of the use of those words, and it depends upon the immediate physical context for meanings. All these words, you, it, tomorrow, she, here, today, all these are depending upon immediate physical context for meanings, otherwise we cannot understand their meanings. Then whereas these dx's are concerned, if we divide them into different types, so the very first type of dx's is that's called spatial DXs. What is spatial DXs? Words used to point to location. They are called spatial DXs. Words which are used to point to location. Here, there, near, that. These are the words which are called spatial DXs. Now there is the second type, that is called temporal DXs. These are also words which are used to pointing to time. Now, then, last, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. These are the third one is that's called person DXs. Person DXs means these are also the words which are used to point out to people. For example, him, them, those. These are used because these are all DXs. Because, and what is really the meaning of DXs? DXs mean that we cannot understand the real meaning of a sentence until we are not aware of the physical context, the real background, that physical real background of that text, the use of that word. This is called DXs. Then the second important thing that is with reference to pragmatics is called, that is reference. It means that reference means that it enables the readers to identify something. Reference, when this word is listened, it means that the speaker or the person who is writing something, he gives different type of references. Suppose he is going to deliver a lecture and he can talk about people. For example, he can give reference of Shakespeare, he can give reference of Hardy, he can give reference of Milton, he can give a reference of Pope, he can give reference of Aristotle, he can give reference of Socrates, and he can give reference of Sophocles. It means that these are references, proper nouns, proper names of proper places, proper person, proper things are used. So this is so that they may come to know. And then the second thing is that it can be used nouns in phrases. For example, a writer, my friend, and we are not sure about it. A writer, who is a writer, there is not properly named, but a writer, a friend, a person, and a hero, an enemy. These are the things which are part of these references. Then pronouns are also used because he, she, it. These are also parts of, and we can also refer to things here. We can also refer to things when we are not sure what to call them, and this is the thing which is a part of reference. Reference means that when you are reference to persons, you are reference to places, you are reference to things, you are reference to ideas, you are referring to different novels, you are referring to different short stories, referring to poetry, referring to different novelists, referring to different scientists, referring to other different persons. So this is also, when you are referring to something, it means that you are passing through pragmatics, because pragmatics means to understand. How will you understand? Through references. If references are proper, then you can understand them. Then the next thing is that is called inference. So what is inference? Suppose the scene is of a restaurant, and in a restaurant there are two waiters, and one waiter is asking the other waiter that where is spinach sitting? Spinach sitting. Spinach means, here we can use where is salad sitting. Now the answer will be that the other waiter will say that he is sitting by the door, mean that is the place where that is placed. Now he is being used for salad. Now he is usually used for human beings, living human beings, but here we are using it for salad. Then the other example is, suppose there is a man who is studying linguistics, he is interested in linguistics, and there is a man who can provide him any book, and he asks someone, can I look at your Chomsky? Mean that can I look at the book about linguistics written by Chomsky? And the answer will be that sure, it is on the shelf. Mean that Chomsky is not on the shelf, the book by Chomsky is on the shelf. It means that we can use these things in different manners. How we can use? We can use names associated with things. For example, salad to refer to people, because the person was asking that where salad is sitting. No, salad is not going to sit, human beings sit, but we are referring it to describe to people. So this is inference. And then in the other example, we use names of people What to describe? To describe things. To describe, for example, name of Chomsky is going to be described to a thing which is a book. And this process, this key process is called inference. The purpose of inference is that you are going to understand what is actually going to happen, what are the meanings of that, what the writer wants to say, and how the reader and the writer or the speaker going to interact. So this is about pragmatics and its definition, and then DXs, and this is reference and their inference, and this is the first part of pragmatics. And in the second part we are going to discuss anaphora, presupposition, context, politeness, and all these things are going to discussed in the second part. And this pragmatics is a thing which deals with knowing the hidden meanings of something, meanings which are not visible, which are not directly conveyed, meanings which are rather implied meanings or figurative meanings. So pragmatics can help us in understanding not only the meanings of things, but also it helps in understanding life and its meanings and its different dimensions.